Hi everyone, my name's Ahnna, and today I'm going to be giving you some movie suggestions. All of the movies I'm going to talk about are currently available on Netflix and can be very easily found if you just go to the search bar on Netflix and type in the name of the movie. The first movie I'm going to be recommending is Mr. Nobody, which follows the story of a man named Nemo Nobody, the last living mortal on Earth, as he tries to determine if he made the right decisions in life and the different paths that his life could have taken if he made different ones. It has a non-linear storyline, so it's not very traditional, but it's extremely thought-provoking and a very, very cool movie. If you like movies like Inception, I think you would definitely like Mr. Nobody. My second Netflix movie recommendation is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's about two high school slackers, Bill and Ted, who want to start a band but desperately need to pass their end of the year history exam so that they don't flunk out of school. With a little bit of help from the future, they get a time machine and are able to travel back in time, collecting historical figures as they hop around the space-time continuum. I love this movie. It's super entertaining and very, very funny, and has lots and lots of blue lightning time travel special effects. Anyone who likes comedy and movies from the 80s and 90s would probably really like this movie. My third recommendation is a bit darker than the other two. It's a collection of short films called It's Such a Beautiful Day. Created by Don Hertzfeldt, this movie follows the life of a man named Bill who suffers from an unnamed illness that affects his memory and his perception of the world. It's an animated movie, but it has a very unique style to it that I haven't really seen before, and both the animation and the narrative make this movie extremely thought-provoking. If you do decide to watch this movie, I would recommend keeping in mind that there's a lot more to it than what's presented at face value, and that you can really get a better understanding of the movie if you watch it more than once or if you really take time to reflect on it. I've watched it quite a few times, and I'm very willing to admit that I really didn't understand it the first time I watched it, and I'm so glad that I gave it a couple more chances before I really saw what it was all about. I also really appreciate that every time I watch this movie, I get something new out of it that I hadn't seen before, or a new perspective that I hadn't considered. If you like It's Such a Beautiful Day, I would also very, very highly recommend another short film by Don Hertzfeldt that is also on Netflix called World of Tomorrow, about a little girl who meets her own clone and gets to see what life is like 227 years in the future as the world is about to end. My fourth Netflix movie recommendation is Pulp Fiction. Tons of people have seen this, it is a cult classic, and it is absolutely fantastic. It weaves together a few stories of mobsters, small-time criminals, a boxer, and a mysterious briefcase that all come together at the end to relate to each other. Although it can get pretty graphic, it's a very interesting movie and has some extremely well-placed comedy throughout. It is also another movie with a non-linear timeline, so if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, it may seem like all the stories are disjointed, but by the end I swear everything makes sense. As I mentioned, it can get pretty graphic, so if you're sensitive to violence, language, crime, drug use, or anything like that, I would not recommend that you watch this movie. But otherwise, it is one of my top recommended movies for very good reason, because it's amazing. I do have one more recommendation. It is a bit of a bonus though, because it's not available on Netflix anymore, but you can find it in full HD on YouTube if you search for it. It is called Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog. It's a musical that follows Dr. Horrible, an aspiring supervillain, who lives his daily life as plain old Billy, who's in love with a girl he's never talked to at the laundromat. As soon as things seem to be falling into place for both Billy and Dr. Horrible, his nemesis, Captain Hammer, comes in with plans to ruin his life as both Billy and Dr. Horrible. At just about 45 minutes long, it's a pretty short movie with catchy music, funny lines, and an amazing cast of Neil Patrick Harris, Felicia Day, Nathan Fillion, and Simon Helberg. I've watched it countless times, and at this point I probably have every single word memorized, and everyone that I know who's seen it absolutely loves it, so you'd probably like it too. But that is all. Those are my current movie suggestions. Remember, they are all available on Netflix except for Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog, which is available on YouTube. If you do decide to watch them, please leave a comment on this video and let me know if you liked them. And if you didn't like them, let me know why. But if you liked this video, you can leave a thumbs up and maybe even a comment. And if you want to see more of my videos, you can go ahead and subscribe. See you later!